Okay, got it. Thank you, Jesse. You did good. All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody again to this talk that I'm going to present called To Be the Light. I want to ask you a question, and it's not something that I would like you to answer right now, but I do want to invite you to think about it later on today and maybe into the coming week ahead. When someone is talking to you, maybe from church, maybe a friend, and they say to you something like, "Oh, you're such a light," or "You are the light of the world." What exactly does that mean to you? Is it just a cliche? Is it just, "Oh, yeah, thanks," and then you move about your day? Or do you go a little bit deeper and think about what it means to be the light of the world? Okay. Here's why I'm asking. I came across a poem written by Amanda Gorman that she read at the inauguration for President Biden in 2020. And I'm just going to take a small snippet of it because it's about being the light. And I took it to heart, and I've really wanted to talk about this for a long time, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Okay? When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. And when I took that into meditation, what I started to recognize for me, maybe you'll relate, maybe not, I don't know, but what I started to realize is just how brave we actually need to be in order to be the light in the world now, in this day, in this world that we are living in. How challenging can it be for some of us, all of us really, because we're all facing something, no matter what's going on. How challenging can it be to actually be the light of the world? That's a huge task. I remember as a little girl growing up in a traditional church setting, and I remember the priests and the nuns all telling me, be the light, be the light. And, okay, fine, and we all put a smile on our face, but that's about as far as I took it. I didn't think about it very much. I didn't ponder what does it mean to actually be the light of the world. And the world back when I was a little girl, I won't tell you exactly what decade that is, but when I was a little girl, the world seemed a lot lighter back then. Okay? And as I've grown, and it happens for all of us as we've grown up, we've seen different parts of the world that maybe haven't been as attractive as we thought. And we fast forward to present day where we're facing all sorts of challenges like never before. And everyone is facing challenges like never before. To me, being the light of the world can mean big gestures, it can mean little gestures, and it can mean everything in between. Every single day, I am given opportunities to be the light in the world. I drive up to Dunkin' Donuts, I order my coffee or my tea and my avocado toast because I just love it. And I get to the window and the cashier says to me, the car in front of you just paid for you. Just happened this week, right? I have no idea who that car was in front of me. I did not know the person. It was a complete stranger. And so, of course, I paid for the person behind me to try and keep it going. I don't know if it went on. I don't know for how long it went on. It doesn't really matter. it was so fulfilling to just say, well, pay for them, right? I didn't go looking for it. It just happened, right? There's lots of things that we can do. We can sit and listen to someone when they're going through something, right? Now, I don't mean just let them tell their story so that they finally get through it, so then I can talk about me. That's not what I mean. When I mean being present and listening, I mean really listening, letting them say exactly how they feel without me trying to jump in and fix them, but let them say whatever it is that's on their heart. Because the gift of actively listening is one of the greatest gifts we can give to anybody. At least that's my opinion. We can reach out to a relative or a friend who might just need a smile. We know somebody is going through something and we just shoot off a text and say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I don't even have to give a reason. To me, that is being the light of the world. I often reference this idea of leading by example. I may be an ordained unity minister. I may be speaking every once in a while at different churches on a Sunday morning. But if I'm saying one thing on a Sunday and I'm posting something different on Facebook and Twitter on Monday through Saturday, I need to take a look at that. What you see here in front of you today with me, this is what you get 7 days a week, 24/7, right? Authenticity is the word that comes to mind. Lead by example. I'm not leading so that you'll follow me and then you'll follow me and then I can count the followers, and that's not it. But if I show an example of what a person can be when they exhibit this being the light of the world, then maybe others will follow. And if others follow, imagine what the world could start to look like. Imagine the shift that could possibly happen if you did this. How many of you have heard the people say, yeah, but I'm only one person, right? I've said it, right? We've heard people say that, yeah, I'm only one person. But one person leading in front of another leads to 2, leads to 4, leads to 8, and so on and so forth, right? I can't remember who it was. I think it was the Dalai Lama posted, they have an account, a Twitter account or something, and it says, if you think that only one person can't make a difference, try telling that to a mosquito. One small mosquito, yeah, kind of get your attention, right? So the act of just being present with people, I can't emphasize that enough when you're thinking about being the light in the world. Because this is the truth. God's divinity, God life, God mind, however you call it. Not everybody calls God God. They call it spirit, creator, source, whatever you do, universe, Mother Nature, whatever you do. That spirit and that divine energy is not just within me. It's not just within you. It is within everyone. And get this, it's even inside the people that don't seem to be exhibiting what it's like to be the light of the world. Toughest part of this process is to remember and to remind myself that everyone, even the ones that I don't think I like, maybe even certain people in Washington, doesn't matter what side of the coin you're on, maybe certain people in my neighborhood, maybe certain people where I live, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this divine energy within. It's up to us to decide what we're going to do with it. It's up to us to decide how we're going to, if we're going to display it. right? I can sit in that mindset of I just can't do it. I'm only one person. I don't have enough energy, blah, blah, blah. Just one gesture for one person from you could make all the difference in the world. Bringing that divinity out for people to see, it is in everything that I say and that I do. Again, I have to walk the talk. Yes? You know of anybody that doesn't walk the talk? They talk the talk, but then they walk a completely different walk, right? And there's a total disconnect. You can't understand what's going on here. That's not what you said. That's not what I thought you were about. It's very difficult. None of my business what they're doing. I'm not trying to fix anybody. I'm trying to look at me. If I recognize something in someone else, it means I need to look at me. I need to see why I'm recognizing a certain trait, good or bad, and then make the changes accordingly. For me, part of me shining my light is about me sharing with others, sharing openly about me, struggles and triumphs. I don't usually hold back very much. I'm not going to tell you every detail, but I'm going to admit when I'm wrong. I'm going to own up and I'm going to say I was wrong. Just a little hint, my friends, if you say I'm sorry, it's quite a different impact than if you say I was wrong. It's hard for many of us, me included at times, to admit when I'm wrong. I used to be the kind of person that wanted to be right all of the time. But not only that, I wanted you to acknowledge that I was right, and I wanted you to admit that I was right, and to never, ever doubt me again. Right? But the truth is that I am a spiritual being in a spiritual universe, governed by spiritual laws, having a human experience, which means that human emotions are in play and all of that stuff, and I am going to be wrong from time to time. So I'm going to share me with you. I'm going to share me in a talk that I give. I'm going to share me in a class that I teach. Anytime I get the opportunity, what you see is what you get. That's how I have chosen to be the light. When we do this, we create what I think of as like these ripples, right? When you throw a pebble in a pond and the ripples of the water just spread out throughout the pond. Yes? So when we shine our light for others to see, the ripples go out. And that's how we spread this approach to being the actual light of the world. In what appears to be darkness, what appears to be shade, be the light. I see the light in all of you, in your eyes, in your smiles, in your participation here. I see it. But it's very difficult for us to see our own light ourselves. It's challenging to do that. We're usually the last ones to see our own personal and spiritual growth, right? It's just challenging. And that's okay. That's okay. So divine light is always shining. Divine light I have inside of me. You have inside of you divine light, and it never runs out. You're never going to run out of the supply, ever. So don't worry about it. It's always going to be there. There's no separation. There is never any separation. We're never separated from God, ever. So when the winds of life, I found this quote in Daily Word somewhere. It says, even if the winds of life disturb my focus or the darkness of my doubt casts a shadow, the light of God is always shining. Oh, yeah. As soon as I remember that, I feel better. It may not fix everything in the moment, but it fixes something. It reframes something in my head, and then I can move forward. Are you with me? Following what I'm saying? Very, very, very important, I think, in this world that we live in today. I believe that we are all spiritual beings, and we are a living reflection of all that God is. So my question to you is, what are you reflecting on a daily basis? What would you like to reflect on a daily basis? And if you would like some help figuring that out, I'm here for you. Reach out to me. Because this is what we can do together, is to reflect the light of God for the world to see that there's plenty for everybody. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, Jesus is quoted in the story as saying, "You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. Me. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hidden. Even if the clouds come around that hill, the light is still shining. And when the clouds dissipate, it just seems like that bright light is even bigger and better than ever." Yes? Okay. So you have some homework. It's time to take this question into meditation, and then later on in the week, I'd love for you to think about it more. How can I be reflecting this light, shining my light? What do I want to do to shine my light, and how do I get there? It's a tall order. Remember what Amanda Gorman said, right? It's about being brave enough to be the light. She didn't use that word lightly. That was not just prose, just to make it pretty. It was really serious. And I invite you on my journey, join me in being brave enough to continuously look for new ways to share our light. Namaste, my friends. Let's move into meditation and take some of these ideas into the quiet for a moment. So there is an affirmation for the meditation, I believe. Just hold on one moment, and thank you, Jesse. All right. So I invite you to get comfortable wherever you're seated. If you have anything on your lap, please remove it for the moment. And just take a couple of deep breaths. And listen to these words that I am about to speak. May these words be the words of your own heart. I am open and receptive to the true spirit of truth, healing in me what needs to be healed and revealing to me what needs to be revealed. And so we take a deep breath together. We exhale out slowly. We feel the energy moving within us. That energy that you feel moving inside of your body is divine in nature. And that nature cannot be taken away from you. Breathe deeply. There is always light. And I affirm I am brave enough to see it. I am brave enough to be the light for all the world to see. I breathe into each divine sacred moment, acknowledging my true nature. My true nature as the giver. My true nature as divinity in expression. A living reflection of all that God mind is. Within me is a spark of divine illumination. I treasure this fact. I trust that this is true, and I commit to shining my light for all to see. I take another deep breath. I exhale out slowly. I'm relaxed and at peace, knowing that I am a light. I am a bright light. I am a grateful, bright light. And my gratitude and my light shines for all to see, to hear in my words and to see in my actions. And so it is. Amen. Before you open your eyes, just take a couple more deep breaths together with us. Bring your mind back to this place and to this time. Feel the energy moving within you, that rejuvenated spark of divinity moving within. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes and come back. Welcome back, my friends.